Hello, Malik Harrington here, Family Budget Fisherman. Welcome to another episode of the show and of the channel. As you read in the thumbnail and in the description below the thumbnail, going back to some bread and butter. What brought this channel to be what it is becoming, and I wanted to share with you a series of unboxings. What I did was I just got them all together. It's not a big unboxing, but I got them all together to share with you. Some you're going to ask, why to get another one of those? But I'll tell you why. And then some of them are new, and most of them were just opportunity buys. And I think that would be the best thing to call them, opportunity buys. And I'll share with you why I did those opportunity buys. So I'm going to start off with my one odd Eagle Claw extra wide gap hooks. Now, the reason why I purchased these is because, number one, I genuinely saw in my box of hooks that I really was low on this size here. And I'm going to do a combination of things. Number one, I'm going to prepare a tackle box, and I'm going to do a show as a beginner fisherman. All those recommendations and all of those other channels, all those other videos, I'm going to be that guy, and I'm going to do an entire episode just dedicated to that. I may do two. I may do an hour's worth and then split it up into 2 or 3 parts so that I can be more descriptive on some of the things that we suggested in the video. And another reason why is because one of our members of the Family Budget Fishing community suggested, if I can remember this off the cuff, to take some of these hooks and match them with some of the baits and discuss lure to hook sizes and different things in that range. And I thought, what a wonderful idea. As a matter of fact, you all have such wonderful ideas. The many of you who are commenting that once I get to about 500 subscribers, I'm going to go ahead and read all the comments and then make sure that I archive all the suggestions. So if you have any, put them in there. Looks like we're going to get to 500 probably within the next month or so. And I'll go back, and then I'm going to do a series of videos just on those. So this has multiple parts to it, just in this package of hooks. The next thing is, I do have a lot of spinnerbait skirts. This one is called a perfect skirt. And the main reason I purchased it is because, quite frankly, I needed to meet a minimum threshold for a deal that I needed to get. I had to get to, I think it was $50 in order to get the 20% off. I had to spend so much money, and this made it. I think this was like $2 for this. So that's the reason I got that. And I got a color that I don't normally get. So then I got this flipping jig. This is a 3/8 ounce flipping jig. I've already torn the bag apart. And this flipping jig is it's made by War Eagle Custom Lures. It's 3/8 ounce. And it's a very nice looking jig there. It's got a nice little short shank there. And it's got some purple, some black, and some chartreuse in it. And another subscriber, one of the reasons why I do videos now is because I think about 3 or 4 of you suggested that I start doing some on-the-water videos with some of this equipment. Well, I'm going to do it with some of these baits as well. Oh, by the way, this has a nice little rattle, if you can hear that. Nice little rattle in there. Then, got some more Lost Creek baits. As you know, Lost Creek is the private label for Sportsman's Warehouse. I actually wonder what's going to happen with that private label once Bass Pro Shops rethemes the entire store. But these are some 3.5-inch swim minnows. And what I like about these is that they give me a little bit of versatility. They're 3.5 inches, which means I can get a nice big crappie bite. I can get a nice good sized bass bite. 3.5 inches, you get you a nice bass bite. As a matter of fact, it's a full inch longer than most of the Ned Rigs. So, because most of the Ned Rig worms by Z-Man are 2.5 inches. There might be some 3s in there, and then they're making other baits as well. But I think the original was 2.5 inches. So I'll have those. Then I have some Crack and Crawl Juniors. These are the 3-inch kind. As you all probably know, I love to throw 3-inch baits. And Yum makes a great 3-inch bait. Let's see, here's some crawls here. And if I can get it fast enough, here is my Yum chunks. Yep, these are 2 3/4. So there's about a 1/4 inch difference. These are, I'm gonna tear this open. This may have appeared in an unboxing at some point in the past. And Lord, did I need these recently. So I have these here, and this is what I threw all the time. This is purple and blue and black. Blue and black, 3-inch. I love this. Yum makes great baits, excellent baits. Well, I want to branch out, and so I got the Googan kind. This is called their 3-inch Crack and Crawl Junior. They have a name called Pure Passion. Well, that front cover, doesn't it just look very busy? It's incredible. Busy on the back as well. But I absolutely love it. You know, for those of you who continue to wonder, I say wonder no more about Googan Baits. Their holding company, what's it called? Carl's Baits, was bought out by a company called North Point, I believe it was. And so the Googans really aren't in control of that company like they used to be. They're more in control of their kind of a booster clubs, the Googan Squad and Team Googan. So, but as you can see, even though this is a 3-inch, it's not much difference. So I'm going to try this as soon as I get an opportunity. And I know you've seen this on the channel before. Go ahead and put this away. Crawls. I know you've seen this, and that is they call it the Rattlin Ned. You can hear that. Hear that rattle? Yeah, these are their Ned Rigs. And these Ned Rigs are, they're called Blue Penny because they got 2 colors on them, and they are, does it say how long they are? Doesn't say how long they are. However, let me use this trusty old school. It doesn't have a ruler on it anymore. Look over there. I don't see a ruler. It jumps right out at me. But I'll compare them to the crawls, and we'll see what happens. So they have 2 colors, as you can see there. I want to say these are no longer than 3 inches. As you can see there. So I'd say 3 inches, maybe. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Still, I'd say 3 inches. And maybe I'm just not reading it right. But based on these old eyes, I'd say 3 inches. It actually does not say it on the pack as I'm looking for it. At any rate, moving on, a 10 count of power bait, brown and chartreuse tubes right there. take one out for you so you can see it. I like that nice soft tube style. Oh yeah. Use them for all kinds of things. Then I got the Robo-Worm, the 6-inch straight tail desert crawl. Nice. Notice how that purple kind of catches right there. Very nice. I got this because, you know, the color was just interesting. It was interesting to me, and I'm wondering up here in Lake Shasta how well it would do. Then I got something from Big Bite Baits right here. And this is a, it's called a limit maker. It's 3.5-inch bait. It looks to be a drop shot bait, but you can do it as a Ned as well. A lot of Ned baits, a lot of pressure on these lakes, and the Ned style baits are usually the ones that win. Notice how much action is in that tail. It's a lot of action in that tail. And it's a Big Bite Baits. Oh yeah, has these little edges on it, if you can see that edge there. Then I got some crappie jigs. And I paid 100% for these crappie jigs. 100% of 79 cents. As you all know, I love the crappie, fish for crappie. And I got a nice little two-tone right there. You can enjoy that right there. Very nice. Now, according to my receipt here, I saved about half, about 35%. And it's not bad because I didn't plan that. Normally when I plan it, I can get it, you know, deeper than 40%. But I didn't plan that. And I still saved about 35% on all of those sales combined. Now, some I spent and got 30%. Some I spent and got half off. It's an average. You got to play the averages game. Remember, buying fishing equipment is what you have left in your pocket, not what kind of deal that you get just at one location. Always remember that. Now I got two more things that I want to show you. If you are watching my Instagram channel, you know about these already. You actually saw the unboxings. So I unboxed, as you know, I have this Poison Adrena right here. Got one right here. And you know that I bought two because I've already unboxed them and shared them with you. And this is paired with the Vanford 3000 spinning reel. This is the 3000 XG. And then, of course, I got the Fins 40G fishing line on there. 2-pound test diameter, 15-pound test break strength. And then, of course, I have one in the bag. As you can see here, by the handle, right here, and by the name, it is what it is. It's a Poison Adrena. Well, I went on and I bought a third one. As you can see there, Poison Adrena and the handle. So this is 1, 2, and now and 3. Okay. Now you might want to know why I bought those. Why I have 3 instead of 1. It was already good to get 1, but now you got 3. It seems a little obsessed, huh? Yeah, I know. I know how you feel. I know what you're thinking through this camera. Now, before I answer that question, let me move on to the Zodius line. As you know, I own 2 Zodius rods, 2 medium heavies. Uh-oh. And they are flanked and they're paired with the Vanford 4000, the Vanford 4000 reel. And as you can see here, this is the Zodius right here. You can see it by the handle. You know it when you see it. What I like about these rods is you know them when you see them. They're not like a lot of rods where you kind of have to figure out what they are. You know them when you see them, okay? So I have in my hands the second one that I had shown you that I purchased. Right there, it says Zodius in the bag. Right there, it says Zodius right there. And then I went on and got a third one of those. Now this third one, unlike the Poison Adrenas, this one is a medium rather than a medium heavy. And here's why I purchased it. Two reasons why I purchased it. Number one, because my out-of-pocket expense on this rod, this $220 rod, my out-of-pocket expense was $110. So what is that? A little less than half is my out-of-pocket expense. Would you have done it? Or would you have gone for a less expensive rod? Think about it. Think about it. So I paid less than half for this rod. So I went on and got the medium, and here's my primary purpose. My secondary purpose, of course, is to add it to the rod and reel arsenal, but I want to compare it to the older model. And as you know, I have several older models that have yet to see, they're still virgin models, still with the original tags on them. And this is the discontinued model, as you can clearly see there. Okay, guides and all. Look at the guides. The guides are separate, or different, rather. Okay, and then the handles. Okay, so I'm going to do a comparison. I have I got some Zodiuses over there, the discontinued models that are not, that are rig rather, and so I'm going to be using those. But for purposes of this display, I just wanted to let you know about that. That's why I got them. Now, the reason I got the Poison Adrena is different than the Vanford. The reason I got the Poison Adrena, well, I did because I got a real good deal on it as well. I'm not going to do any kind of rod comparison until I get this other rod. You guys are going to be very impressed with how I get this other rod when it comes in. However, this particular rod, I have to admit, I have been a bit coy with how I arranged the deal. I told you all, if you go back to the first one, I told you the deal's outright. What I bought it for, the deal I got, and the whole bit. And I want you to know, over time, as I bring these up, I say less and less about these particular deals. And the main reason why is because from my vantage point, what I'm sensing is a little bit of a different type of conversation when I construct the deals. The deals all work. They go through. Everybody's happy. The producer or the retailer, they get what they're requesting, and I pay what I am willing to pay. So there is a happy exchange in the marketplace. But that said, the deals are really good. And so I'll just say this, that the deals are what you see on the other videos, they're better than those. And so I just kind of keep it under wraps a little bit. Now, having said that, there are going to be some deals that you have that are going to be that way. Now, because when you comment to me and you say, hey, I saved 40% off of this, it's not going to have the same effect as if I, on camera, say, hey, I saved 50% on this. So work with me here, okay? Work with me. I'm hoping that I'm sharing with you, however, techniques so that you can develop relationships with retailers, with resellers, with wholesalers and producers, so that you can get these deals just the same. Because once you develop a relationship and people know and expect you in a certain perspective, you could get better and better deal arrangements. So I'm hoping that happens with you. Last but not least, I got something that's going to really entertain you. Give me a hot second here. All right. So I got And I'm just going to say it straight up. You guys are going to laugh at me. So I make good investment. And there are some areas where I didn't make the kind of investment that I should have made, right? So your family budget fisherman been rocking this scale for, I don't know, 15, almost 20 years. Okay? We've all seen it, and we can all see it in the stores again. And it works, it still holds the weight down in the whole bit, still does what it needs to do, but it's inadequate, So what I did was I went to Dick's Sporting Goods to go get me a scale. And I saw the one by Rapala. From here on out, I'm going to say Rapala, unless that Swedish company call me and say that is something else. So when you hear from here, it's Rapala. So Rapala called me. So I went to Dick's Sporting Goods and I saw Rapala, the Rapala scales, and they were more expensive than I wanted to pay. And I know I actually get a deal on Rapala's website as a Bassmaster. Go back and take a look at that episode as a Bassmaster. But it still didn't allow me to do other things to get the price down even further. So I went on and I got this Googan Scale right here. And it's a good Googan Scale. Came with everything. Comes in this little package here. And it's called a Googan Squad Scale 55-pound lip grip. And it was $10 cheaper than the one sold by Rapala. And then to add insult to injury, I still was able to walk out of Dick's Sporting Goods and pay less than $20 for this item here. So over a third off. And I am proud of it. So I hope in the comments section that this adds to the levity. I went from this to this. And if you don't believe me that I actually used it, go to the Instagram channel. I discuss this big carp and this big catfish that I caught by throwing, speaking of, interesting thing, I was throwing those Yum crawl baits with 1/4 ounce football head jigs, fishing for bass, and I caught this massive catfish. Catfish was over 5 pounds, and then I caught over 10-pound carp. What was even more interesting about it is one of those broken rods I told you about, that Omen 2, I broke it. It was the rod that I was using, bringing them up the levee. The levee actually was about maybe 8 feet tall, and so I was dragging the fish up the levee, and when I pulled the line up, of course, a 10-pound fish is going to give, and it gave a little bit, and I broke the rod tip. So I learned my lesson, but I used this as a scale. So lastly, I bought some power bait because my son wanted some power bait. Everybody plants. Every county in California seemed like plants trout. Maybe not. We got 58 counties in California, and I'd say at least 40 of them plant trout. And so they were planting trout here in Shasta County, and I was going to take him out there to use these. These are also you can use these for crappie as well. They're called trout nibbles, but there's not as big a difference between a trout nibble and a crappie nibble to a crappie or a trout. Go figure. So at any rate, that is the bread and butter for this episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you had a little bit of fun. Have some fun at my expense in this episode. I got some other stuff coming up. Guys, I have a lot. Guys, ladies, family budget fishermen, in the space. I have a lot of content, and I have a lot more coming up. And you are going to be very happy with what I share with you. I got some stuff for those of you who have super expensive tastes, and then some who are more budget conscious. I'm on both ends. I have some up high and some down low. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your suggestions and everything. and I look forward to talking with you in the comment section. Please, there's a lot of content that goes on Instagram. Head on over there and check out the channel, Family Budget Fisherman, at Family Budget Fisherman. And you will be very happy with what you see over there as well. One of the later videos, you can watch my son catch his bass over at the spot that I take you all to. You can watch him catch his bass over there. So at any rate, with all you're getting, please don't do anything to break your family's budget. Trying to buy all of this equipment, but by the same token and within your family's budget, do everything you can to break your personal best. Or if you're a beginner, make your personal best. I see you in the next video. Take care and be safe.